And then
I'm
who are the other
recording.
two that are on?
Diane, Sandra, Katie, Susan. The 619 is Renee. That's all that I have.
What about Liz?
So
Oh,
Sandra
Liz.
and Katie are the other two?
Sandra's me. Liz is supposed to be on. Let's see if she's
Okay.
getting on. Let me
Just
check.
making sure I get the names. Oh, there's Sandra, duh.
Let me get Liz.
Okay,
Are you
perfect.
on, Liz?
Your battery die? You want me to turn on cartoon up there?
The battery died in the
All right, should we just dive right in? Should we go?
Yeah, I say go. We're recording it, so.
Perfect. Awesome, you guys. So once again, so as I was saying before, you know, the position I sit in, I see various coaches and how they're successful. And I'm excited to kind of share with you what works, what doesn't, what we all should be doing. And sometimes you look at other coaches, you say, what are they doing to be successful? I want to be successful like them. What is it that they're doing?
Mama, how many
So we'll go high level and then just step down and
Renee,
make
can
that
you
happen.
press mute, please? Sorry, go.
You're good, Sandra. So what I want us all to think about, you know, once again, think of you and your business. I want to go interactive, but I don't see the other people. So are anyone on this call been coaches less than 6 months? Do we have a few, Sandra?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you. So one thing I want you to think about with this business, you guys all are a part of a team with a great system, okay? There's a great system in place. And so what I want to challenge you to do is plug into the system, okay? Do what you're told. Because with the steps of leadership, the first one is plugging into the system. There's a proven system made, and when you do it right, it works. With that being said, you also are an entrepreneur. You're a business owner. What does that mean? That means you're independent. So I want you to really own your business, okay? Don't sit there and bug Sandra or Diane. Julie's right above them. Don't bug them with the questions you can find out for yourself. Okay, don't say, oh, what's this, the date, or what's that? Say, let me go find that out, and this is what my conclusion was, you know, and really own your business. If you don't know something, Google it. If not Google it, FAQ, okay? So the quote I want to give you is, it's got to be, it's up to me.
Jeff, hold on one second. Let me ask everybody. Can everybody hit mute, especially if you have a lot going on back at home with kids or you're in the kitchen or something like that? Pretty please. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Glad you guys are all here. So the quote I want to give you guys to think about, if it's got to be, it's up to me. Your success and your failures are you. You can always blame anybody. You can blame Sandra, Diane, Julie Boris, corporate, Beachbody, for anything. But really, the ultimate success and the ultimate failure really comes down to you, okay? So kind of keep that in mind. So with this business, I kind of want to talk about a few things. There's two categories to this business that we need to kind of focus on. One is recruiting and inviting. And the second part is developing coaches. When you sign up a coach, then what? So there's two categories that we're going to kind of peel back the layers and talk about. Why are they successful? How do I balance those? Because some of you guys on this call are very good at inviting. But once you bring them in, you're like, now what? Because you don't know what to do next. Others, they bring in coaches and they're amazing at developing and retaining and teaching them. But then they just need to bring more in. Okay, you need to find a fine balance of both, and that's where your success will come. Okay, so we'll talk about that. And with some of you guys being newer coaches, it's the finding the new people, the lowest hanging fruit, approach, how do I overcome my fears, are really the elements we need to discuss. Okay, and so we're going to focus on both of those key parts. So the inviting side. The first thing I want to kind of share with you is how do we go about that? The first one is fears. Okay, what do we fear in doing this? There's three key fears we all have. Most fears fall into these three categories, okay? First one is fear of rejection. Okay, how many of you guys joined Beachbody? You used to post about once a day or every couple of weeks on Facebook, and now you're told to post 3 times a day, all about you. Okay, it's kind of like, it's a change. It's a cultural difference, but there's value to it, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, yes, you're going to have people wonder what you're doing. They're going to question you. They may be negative about what you're doing. But the thing is, those that stick around are going to actually value you more, respect you more, and want to be like you more. And you're going to create influence. And to create influence, you also have to rub shoulders with others that may be jealous, feel inadequate about themselves, or wish they were you. It comes with the territory. It just comes with being a great person. You can't do anything about that. All you can control, a big key thing is control the controllables. In this business, what can you control? You can only control you. You can't control what other people say or do. Okay, when you sign up a coach, you're so excited about them and they fall out and you're frustrated, you go cry in a pillow or kick the chair or get mad or upset. Don't, because you can't control what their choices are. What can you control? You. What can you control? Your influences, your mentoring. Okay, so think about that. Control the controllables. Focus on what really matters, and that's you. So with the fears, fear of failure. Okay, we talk about failing. Last year we talked about failing. Okay, who is a perfectionist on this call? Okay, I know Diane is probably a. Sandra, you're probably a perfectionist too, huh?
Try to be.
I am too. I hate failing. Okay, I like to be perfect because in my sphere of influence, each one of you guys are examples. People admire you. People look up to you. They admire your strength, your tenacity, your ambition, your success. So you can't let them down because that's just no room for it. I'm the third oldest of 9 kids. They all look to me as a role model, and I've always been that one they want to be like. When I have a failure, it's so hard for me to expose that. But when I do, I gain even more respect, and especially when you climb out of that. And so that's why it's very good to, it's okay to fail. We talked about failing forward last year as our theme. Why? Because when we fail, we learn, we grow, we develop, we become new people, we become better people. And see, for me, for perfectionists, when you fall hard. When you climb out even higher, better, bigger, and more. You become an amazing person, even more so than you were. So keep that in mind. It's actually good, even though you don't like the process. So failing forward, fear of rejection, fear of failure are 2 key ones we need to overcome. The third one is one 80% of coaches deal with. It's actually fear of success. Every one of you coaches, how many of you believe you deserve to be holding $500 weekly or $1,000 weekly? I mean, that's ideal and it's great. And it's like, oh yeah, Sandra told me I'm gonna, this is a great opportunity. What does that mean to you? Do you honestly believe you deserve it? I'm gonna use an example. There's a coach I've been working with, and she's kind of an average coach, not way into fitness, not way into health, kind of average, just talks about whatever. Well, she hit 2-star, and that's when I start working with coaches. I was real curious on what made her successful. I was like, what makes her successful? And so when I talked to her, I'm like, hey, how's it going? She was good. I go, do you mind me asking, what is your secret sauce, or what is it that you do well at? She goes, I don't know. I'm sitting there going, okay. And I start prying questions, and I got 0 responses. And I was like, I got to figure this coach out. In January, I started working with her. In February, there was a top 100. All the top 100 coaches with Success Club, I think, got a call with Carl Deichler. And she goes, I want to win that call with Carl. I'm like, okay, go for it. Okay. After that month, she calls me. Hey, I hit it. I got the call with Carl. I'm so excited. I go, that's amazing. Great job. The next month was another challenge. She said she wanted it. She hit it. I was like, who is this person? I said, what is your goal by Success Club trip? She goes, 5-star. And I looked at her and I was like, holy crap, this girl kind of hits her goals. And I challenged her and I said, I don't think you're going to hit it. I challenged her. I was challenging her. And she goes, Jeff, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what you think. I know I'm going to hit it. Just watch. And she hit it. A week before Success Club, she hit 5-star. She's 6-star diamond qualifying right now. I wanted to know what her secrets were. And this is what it was. I asked her about her life and what she does, okay? All I knew was that she was pregnant. She had a baby. Her baby's, I think, a month old now. And her husband's military, and he's deployed. Okay, so those 2 were enough for me. I was like, okay, great why, I love it. Then I got to know her on my calls. It goes even deeper than that. Her brother passed away. And her siblings and mother couldn't even handle the depression and the loss. It hurt them so great, they couldn't even hold jobs. They all moved in with her. She cares for them financially. She needs the income to care for her mother, her siblings, and her own family, and her husband's deployed. If that's not a why, and if that's not pressure, I don't know what is. So obviously her why is so strong and powerful, she needs it more than anything. One. The second one, every time I called her, we would talk about business, and all of a sudden her mom would come on the phone. Did I ever tell you how great my daughter is? I'm all, yeah, thanks, Mom. Go back to making brownies, you know, thanks, Mom, got it. And then we continue our conversation. The next call, they're driving. She has me on speaker, and her mom comes on and goes, I know you know this, but I want to remind you how great my daughter is. She's amazing, ... We can continue on. And I'd be like, thanks. Every single call. I pulled back and realized she had a Jiminy Cricket sitting on her shoulder, telling her how great she is. And not only that, she believed it. She believed what her mom was saying. Is she the most, is she the most fitness oriented? No. Is she the most nutrition driven? No. Is she the most outgoing, charismatic? No. But she's successful because she believes she can, and she believes this Jiminy Cricket on her shoulder telling her she can. Okay? Those are her two powerful reasons why she's successful. She kills Success Club. She's in our top 100. She's 6-star qualifying, and she went from 2-star. She was diamond last October, 2-star by January, and now she's 6-star qualifying, all because she believed and her why was strong enough. Okay? So the third fear was success in yourself. It comes down to belief. How much do you believe that you deserve it? Your belief overcomes all objections when you're talking to people, emailing people. Your belief in yourself overcomes any doubt you may have because you deserve it. Walk around, every one of you, like a diamond or a 1-star or 2-star diamond coach and act like one. Say, pretend you are already that. What your goal is, be that now. Okay? And one quote I want to throw at you guys, and I'm going to go into a couple other things in a minute here, it's a quote that I stand by with this, and it's by Nelson Mandela, and it goes along with this third fear. It's our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Okay, our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, talented, gorgeous, and famous? Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it is in all of us. And when we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Okay? The power of you is amazing. Every one of you guys have an inner core that's driving you, knowing you deserve success. You know there's a special purpose for you to be amazing. We're all looking for that Mother Teresa, that Gandhi, that Martin Luther King Jr. We're looking for that amazing person. But why are you looking for him? Why don't you be that person? We all have a sphere of influence that we're around and that we influence. You have the power to be that person. That's the power of influence that we all want and we all need. And that's what drives the success. So going back to the belief is the key trigger. In the position I sit in, as you guys know, you see different forms of why people are with Beachbody. One is very fitness oriented. Some people come here and they're fitness driven. They're all about fitness. They want to be certified. They're teaching classes. That's their driver. They're here for that. Other coaches are here for the clean eating and the food programs and the eating well. And they want to be a promoter of good eating. A third one is transformations. People are here because all that matters to them is to see people feeling confident about what they wear or feeling better about themselves or losing that weight to feel like they feel good looking. And, that's a big driver for you for that confidence, that transformation physically for people. The other one is business. Some people are here strictly for business only, and they're just business driven. Others are all of the above. Some are some of the above, and some are none of the above. And in each category, we see equal success, equal percentage of success out of each category.
I almost feel like, Jeff, that a lot of the people that have been most successful in this business are those that it's the income, that they were down in the dumps, they had no income, and that was their big why driving force that said, kind of like that coach you were talking about, they need to do it, they don't have another choice. And I think I've struggled kind of moving up because my why was never strong enough. So I know that's something that that why is so important to be that motivator.
Yeah, absolutely, Diane. And that why, the reason why is because You know, when you think of those moments in your life when you're stressed, either financially, physically, or your life's just in shambles. When you wake up and when you're alone and when you're driving, what is it that you think about? Okay. When people's whys are so strong, all they care about is they need this so bad, they'll do what it takes. And that's why they're successful, because you elevated from average. The quote I want to give you is they went from being a good coach to a great coach. And the second one is successful people do what unsuccessful people don't. Okay. And that's the difference. Some of the top coaches too, you ask them, like when coaches start hitting 4, 5, 6-star diamond coach, they're like, I ask them, I go, what would you say is your trigger? What is it that you do well at? And they go, I don't know. I go, what do you mean you don't know? You make thousands weekly and you have thousands of people underneath you and you don't know why you're successful. They go, I don't know. I'm just doing what I'm told. When you peel back the layers of what that means, they're doing what they're told consistently. They're doing everything they're supposed to, and they believe they can do it. So I'm a big component of consistency and belief are the two key words that we want to peel back and really figure out how do we get those behaviors in you to be successful, because that's really what it is. And then everything else stems off of those two things. Okay, going back to the inviting, we were talking about inviting. I want to give you an example. When I was in Indiana, I'm meeting you guys, I was sitting down with 4 coaches. 3 of the coaches were longtime coaches sitting at about Emerald Diamond for about 3-4 years, stagnant, plateaued, not really moving their businesses, and kind of, you know, wanted to move their businesses forward. The 4th person was a newer coach, 1-star diamond, 3-star qualifying. We all sat there and I said, guys, your time is of value. What would you like to talk about? I want to make sure this is of value. One coach says, overcoming objections. I go, perfect. I'm a sales background guy. Let's do this. I'm excited. This is my favorite part of business. And the one coach raised her hand and said, I actually don't have objections. And all of their jaws dropped going, huh? And let's explain why. She goes, when I started being a coach, I researched and learned everything and made bullet points of every answer to every question or objection I would get. So I was prepared. So I was never fearing. So I was like, bring it, bring it. She was ready for them to have a response. And when they didn't give a response, she was frustrated. Oh, did I do this right? The question you want to ask is, she subconsciously answered or resolved the concern before it became a concern. Okay, so let me share an example. Say cost. Okay, Sandra, say cost is an issue for you. My computer just said it's running low. I don't know if it's going to die, so I'm going to run and get my charger real quick. Hold on one second.
Not quite fast enough. I'm glad we're recording this.
All right, perfect. You guys, thank you for your patience there. So right back where I left off. So, oh yeah. So the one coach said overcoming objections. So subconsciously she was answering those objections before they became concerns. Example, so Sandra, say cost is a big issue for you. And I know that, we're friends. I've known you since high school. Say you have 5 kids, you live in a trailer park. Your husband just got laid off because of an injury. You're working part-time. And I know this. And I want you to buy Shakeology. So I know cost is going to be an issue. But I also know that you love coffee, but you're also a coffee snob because you have to have Starbucks. Okay. And you drink like 3 or 4 cups a day. And I know this about you. See, that's why getting to know somebody is so important. All of a sudden I want to approach you. And so what do I say? I say, hey, Sandra, you know, I'm a part of this company, Beachbody. You see all my posts. And you're like, yeah. You post all the time. It's cool. It's awesome. Good for you. And I'm like, you know, and I don't know if you know about the Shakeology we take. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, I've heard of it. That's cool. Because people follow you, so they already know. And so what you want to say is, I think, Sandra, this would be perfect for you and your family. When I was first introduced to Shakeology, I first said to myself, how am I going to afford this? It's a high quality, it's like a Nordstrom brand shake. I'm taking Walmart shakes right now. I can't elevate up to the Nordstrom brand kinds. I didn't know how to afford it. So I asked myself, how can I offset this cost to make it worth it? And so what I did, because I like coffee too, Sandra, like you do, I cut out 3 or 4 cups. I'm still getting my coffee fix because I have to have it, but I knocked out those other ones and offset that cost to cover this shake. And so far, it's been the best thing for me health-wise, and also it didn't break my piggy bank. So is it something you would like to be a part of, or is it something you'd like to try? You see what I'm saying? Her concern was cost, and you address the cost in your intro to them, saying how you personally overcame cost. Okay. And another example, say Diane, say you're a nutritionalist, you know all about nutrition. You're a promoter of another shake, and you know all the ingredients, and I want you to buy Shakeology. That's scary. Why do I want to approach you knowing you're going to throw me down or know more than me? But I'm going to, because I know you'll appreciate Shakeology once you know it. Okay, I have to figure out how to get you, Diane, to see the value in my shake. It's all about value. You'll do anything for value. Okay, not only with the shakes, but even the business opportunity. You guys are all on this call because you want value. Okay, you see value in being here. When you have a call and 20 people are supposed to be there and 2 show up, you're kind of frustrated. You're like, where is everybody? The key is they don't see the value on why they need to be there. Their excuses are all excuses. I'll tell you right now, as you guys know, mothers will sit in the car when their kid's playing a baseball game and jump on a call. We've had people in hospitals jumping on calls because they see the value of it. Or they rearrange things to work around their meetings because it's important to them. If coaches put all their excuses first over the meeting, you see where their priority is. And don't kick yourself or blame them saying, oh, well, you don't really care. I get it. No, you have to say to yourself, I'm a leader of this business. How can I bring value to these people and make this about show value in what we're doing? So going back to you, Diane, say you know everything about this. And I'm like, okay. So when I approach you, I'm going to say, hey, Diane, I drink this shake. And you're like, oh yeah, I drink mine too. And what is it that you love about your shake? And Diane, you go off on everything, how great it is. All of a sudden you mentioned the shake that you're taking has plant-based proteins in it. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, mine does too. It's the best part. It's what I love about Shakeology, giving me the nutritional value that I need. Now we just built on common ground. And we talk about that for the next 10 minutes because it's so important to us. Now the big question is, okay, now what? Pull back, hold your peace, and be confident. Let Diane go off about how great her shake is, telling you how great, knowing you're trying to convince her to buy yours, and just pull back. Allow her to say her thing, and then you just calmly, collectively say, hey, you want to know something? Shakeology has been amazing for me because ... Or if you haven't had that personal conversion with it yet, share somebody else's. A friend of mine with Shakeology ... And then just end. And let her say whatever she says, shake her hand, give her a hug, say, hey, let's meet up again. This was great, walk away. This is why the power of influence and the power of belief. You didn't sit there and do a big close or a big invite or you got to do this and get a big no or rejection. No, you influenced. Diane always thought her shake was the best. You walked away with peace of mind. You walked away with confidence and a belief in yourself and your business and your product. And Diane maybe is a little shaky about hers, but she won't let you know because everyone has pride. What they believe is the best. So she may watch you going, okay, she just walked away with peace. She's confident. She's happy. I'm following her on Facebook and she's loving her life. I'm kind of jealous. I want that. There must be something she has that I don't. So initially she won't come around because she knows everything, but eventually she'll come around and be like, Diane, I want to know what you have. Why is your shake so much better? And what is it that makes you so happy? And why do you support it so much? That's the power of influence. Okay. Avoid the salesy, avoid the closes. Don't do that. Influence. And that's what you guys do well at. That's the power. In society nowadays, marketing has totally transitioned. We're in the 70s, it was all about what? The used car salesman approach. We all fell for it. Any of you guys that are old enough anyway, people fell for it. Okay. And then in the 80s and 90s, people got too smart for the used car salesman approach and started making fun of it and be like, oh, here comes the used car salesman guy. Ha ha ha. We got too smart for it. Then in the 80s and 90s, what came up? Slogans. The just do it. You gotta love it. I mean, we all fell for slogans. They were catchy. They were creative. We wanted that. Then we moved from slogans to symbols. I see that Nike swoosh sign. I want those shoes. You don't have to say, just do it to me. And you don't have to tell me how great Nike is. I already know. Why? Because we're in a society now where we all know everything about everything now. We have Google right at our fingertips and we can research everything now. So we don't need people to tell us. Like when I'm going to go buy a car, I don't need the salesman to tell me. I've already done my homework before I went to the car lot. We know everything about everything. So the question is, how do we position ourselves in the minds of those we want to sign up or buy? How do we position in their minds to make them believe what we have is what they need? And that's marketing nowadays. And the strategies and the beauty of social media, that's why social media is so powerful. When you guys post a picture or one inspiring quote, or you share your story, that's what drives people, because now you just connected with me and we're like, oh my gosh, they totally get what I'm going through, or I totally believe what they're saying, or oh my gosh, I want that. Them sitting there at their house with their kids, I want that lifestyle. I hate this office. Or that shake is making them healthy. Look what they just went through. I want that. Okay, I already know everything about everything because I have Google. But now you're showing something I don't have and I can't find on Google and it's bugging me. You see what I'm saying? So you got to position in the minds of others. And that's the power of social media. That's why you guys are so successful in what you do. But that's why we need to capitalize on it. Okay, and that positioning. And once again, belief stems from all of this. Your belief in yourself, your belief in the product. Some of you that are newer in this business, that's a hard one because you still have to overcome a lot. You're learning if this company's for you. You're like, is this really what I want to promote? Do I want to keep buying this shape? That's okay. That's why our 3 vital behaviors are so important. Be a product of the product. You got to learn to believe it, just like anything. Okay. Another thing is goals. Okay. We want to raise the ranks here. We want every one of you guys on this call to rank. Okay. So what do we need to do that? We need to set a goal. Okay. Some of you guys are new coaches. We want to get you to Emerald. Some of you that are Emerald, we want to get you to Diamond. You Diamonds, Star Diamond. You Star Diamonds, 2-star. So what is it that we got to do? We got to set goals. Okay. The acronym I want to give you is GHOST. G-O-S-T. Yes, I spelled it wrong. Any of you guys that are teachers. There's no H in this one. All right. So GHOST. Okay. How many of you have set a goal and accomplished it? Okay. It felt awesome. You felt like you were on top of the world. How many of you set goals and didn't accomplish it? Yeah. You feel like crap. You walk away kicking yourself like a dog with his tail between his legs. It sucks. Why do we do that to ourselves? Okay. What is the definition of a goal? A goal is something you just simply want to accomplish. That's it. That says nothing it has nothing to do with accomplishing it or not. So why are we so hard on ourselves? To increase the probability of a goal being hit, we need to remember GHOST. Okay, goal is simply something you want to accomplish. The O is the objective. That's the measurables. Okay, the objective is, okay, you guys all want to rank advance. That's your goal. Objective is, how do we do that? We increase by adding new coaches. The S stands for strategy. The strategy is hard to understand, but your strategy is, how are you going to add those coaches? You're going to what? Post more on Facebook, blah, 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 blah. Reach out to your lowest hanging fruit. Contact those that may have a referral of some sort. Continue to influence on social media, broaden your sphere of influence, those kind of things. And the T stands for tactic. That's the action item to you accomplishing it. Okay. The action item are the things you're going to accomplish. Those are the things to accomplish the goal, meet the objective, and fulfill the strategy. That will increase the probability of your success. So now let's go down to the actual true core tactics. What is it that we need to do? As you know, in this business, there's a lot of this. Okay. We need to focus on this. This is what moves the business. Okay. You guys that are on the phones probably can't see, but we got to tunnel in on exactly what it is we need to do. Forget about the flowery, glamoury, everything around it, because that's how simple it is. Okay.
We have less than 10 minutes. Just let you.
Perfect. I'll wrap up. So as we look at the key vital behaviors that we need to change in our business and focus on, the first thing that I want you to all think about, when you open up that laptop, say you have 1 hour to do the business, where's the first place you go? Most people go to Facebook, email. 20 minutes later, your kids come up, you get a phone call, your husband comes home, you need to make dinner, you close your laptop and walk away. You're on Facebook for 20 minutes. Question you want to ask yourself, did you move your business forward? The answer is no. So what is it that you need to do? Okay. So before you do anything, your first 15, 20 minutes every single day this is how you'll rank advance once a quarter on average and increase your income by 50% or more. It's these key things, and it's nothing new. You all are going to be like, I already know this, and I know you do, but are you doing them? Okay. First one is broadening your sphere of influence, adding more people to social media, reaching out, exposing yourself more. It's very, very important to do that. You need followers. Okay. Second one is having conversations with people nothing about Beachbody. Hey, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, you have brown hair, I have brown hair. Let's be friends. Oh my gosh, you have a kid, I have a kid. Oh, that's so cool. Where do you guys go to school? Very easy. Okay, very important. That's the most important one. We're going to come back to that. And the third one is inviting to challenge groups and inviting to the coaching opportunity. Very important as well. The second one, if you're inviting every single day, that's 35 people a week. If you follow, and then there's fortune in the follow-up. We have to follow up with those people from that week before. Okay, fortune in the follow-up. That's where everybody wins. On average, how many touch points does a person need to have to say yes? Okay, I know I'm running out of time. It's 7. 7 times. Think about the power of why we post. You post on social media, why? To hit those touch points. Say you invite somebody, 1, they say no. You're pissed, you're upset, you walk away with the tail between your legs. No. And then all of a sudden they see a post of yours. They see another post. And Beachbody has the wonderful opportunity of having infomercials. They see an infomercial. They see another infomercial. They see your post again. You invite them again and they say yes. You're the best in the world. You're like, holy crap, I am good. Okay, 7 touch points. So think about that. That's what it takes. Okay, and so fortune's always in the follow-up. That's where people say yes, because now they're familiar with what you're doing. So with that being said, 35 conversations a day, the next week you follow up with all 35 and 35 more, that's 70 people. Who wants to throw in the towel right now and say, forget you? Okay, now we want to be smart with our time. Of those 35 people, how many listen to your opportunity? Probably about 5. Those that said yes and you shared the opportunity with them are the ones you follow up with the next week. And on average of about between 25 and 35 people, you'll have about 5 people listening to your opportunity, and about 1 or 2 will say yes each week. Okay. So that next week is 5 people you follow up with. And you're like, well, what about all the rest of the people? You're following up with them strategically through social media. You're dripping on them. They're seeing your posts. They're seeing your invites. So continue that. That's the power of why we're doing the social media posting. We don't understand how important this is in the behaviors of getting people to say yes. And then all of a sudden you're going to get to the point where you post something, you're going to have multiple people wanting to be a part of something. So those are the key elements I want you to all remember. And the last thing I want to throw at you is accountability. I'm a big component of accountability. It's one of my biggest, most important things. I'm a triathlete, as I mentioned earlier. I did an Ironman last year. I'll cut this story short because we're running out of time. But I was an Ironman. I told my wife I want to do this. She goes, where are you going to fit in the time? I go, I'll make time. Why? Because it's important to me. Okay. I'm a father of 3 daughters. I work full-time Beachbody. For my church, I'm over 8 congregations. They're sports. I'm the athletic director for men, women, and youth. Okay. I committed 2 nights a week for that, 5 nights for my kids, work. And then I'm a triathlete. So I did my training in the mornings from 5:30 to 8, from 8 to 9, my commute. Okay. Sounds pretty nice, but for a year following that, that's a little intense. My wife goes, good luck with that. I'm glad it's you and not me. So a year in advance, I signed up for this race and I said, I'm going to do this. Week 1, I killed my training. I'm self-motivated. I don't need help. I don't need anybody to help me. I'm great. Remember, this is a year in advance. Week 2, I'm in the pool swimming. All of a sudden I start side stroking. I look at the hot tub. I'm like, that hot tub's looking nice. I go sit in the hot tub. And I said to myself, there's always tomorrow and there's always later today. 2 excuses we always do. The next day, I already opened in my head an out on needing to do the work. The next day, I already said, I don't have to do this. I went to breakfast, sat by myself, ate this huge breakfast, and then went to work. And I said to myself, I have tomorrow. I finished the week and didn't do my workout, so I had to change something. I set up 3 accountability partners. First one was somebody in the industry, a tri-coach. He sent me workouts, had to accomplish them. I didn't always want to do them, but I had to. The second person was myself. I'm a sticky note guy. And the power of sticky notes, I have on my laptop, my computer at home, and and on the window at my home. Okay, power of a sticky note. You set your daily goal on there and your yearly goal. Look at the power of this. You look at that daily goal, you're like, crap, I got to accomplish that. Oh, I got to get that done today. Oh, I got to get, because it's a to-do. Then you look at that year goal, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, 1,000 weekly. Now you're inspired. You're going to go back to that daily goal and you're going to bring it on. I want to accomplish that daily goal. Okay, daily goal, you'll hate it. You'll be inspired by your yearly goal, and then you'll come back and accomplish and conquer that daily goal. Very powerful. That's your personal accountability. Your third is somebody outside the industry. 6 months before I finished my race, I walked in the door at my house. My wife obviously is supportive, missing me at home because of everything I'm doing. She goes, what are you doing home? Straight faced me. I go, what are you talking about? She goes, you slept in this morning. I know you didn't work out at work. What are you doing home? And I gave her all the excuses. I'm checked out. I don't want to be here. I'm done. She goes, you shouldn't be here. I grumbled, complained, and went and worked out. I came back. I gave her a big hug, and I said, thank you. She goes, I want you home more than anything. But this is a goal of yours that you set, and I want you to accomplish it because it's important for you. When I crossed that finish line, who was there with me? My tri-coach, my wife, and myself. My 3 accountability partners joined me and shared in the success of the finish line of that race. That's how important it was for me, and the probability increase on me hitting my goal of 12 hours because I had the accountability of those 3 people. When you guys set goals, I want all of you guys to get those 3 accountability partners to increase your probability of success. Sit down that person outside the business and say, this is where I'm at today. In 3 months, let's sit down again and see if it was worth it and see if we should go another quarter. Can you imagine sitting down with your spouse who partially supports what you're doing? Got it. Okay, so think about that. So that's my other challenge. So I want to challenge every one of you guys. 1, to face your fears. Pick a fear and face it. 2, the 3 items I mentioned that you have to focus on daily. I want you to do those every single day. And I want you to do it for a full week. And we're going to check in again in a week or a week and a half and see how you guys did on that. And the third one is your 3 accountabilities. And with the goals, I want you to remember GHOST. Those are kind of the key things I want to throw at you guys at this time. I wish you guys the best in this. I'm proud of you guys. Rock it. And I know the behavior, once the behaviors are changed, your business will change because every one of you guys have a great system. We just need to refine or fine tune a few little things to make you guys fantastic, going from good to great.
Sounds good. Can we schedule a date right now? Can we do?
Absolutely. You give me a date, Sandra. And if it cuts us out, then you just shoot it over to me.
Okay, Wednesday, July 8th, noon.
Okay, let's do it.
Does that work on your calendar?
Let's do it.
July 8th, I think there's a phone call with Bo Eason, but I don't remember what time.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Is that the 8th or the 6th?
Oh, I don't know. I have to look at my other calendar. I have a second calendar.
Well, let's shoot for July 8th, Wednesday at noon, Eastern time.
Okay.
I'll put it down, and then we can double check that.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for being on.
Guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys. Have a great one.